Day 386 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 1455. Check if a word occurs as a prefix of any word in a sentence. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given a sentence that consists of some words separated by a single space and a search word, check if search word is a prefix of any word in sentence. Return the index of the word in sentence in a one index where search word is a prefix of this word. If search word is a prefix of more than one word, return the minimum index of the first word, minimum index. Or return the index of the first word, the minimum index. If there is no such word, return -1. A prefix of a string S is any leading contiguous substring of S. All right, y'all, so that sounds pretty simple, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure we're doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have sentence equals I love eating burger. Search word equals burg. The output is 4. Explanation says burg is the prefix of burger, which is the fourth word in the sentence. So let's go ahead and break this down one step further, right? So we have our input sentence, which is a string, right? Our string has a word, or we're looking for a word in this string or in this sentence that has a prefix of burg. So as you can see right here, burger contains the search word, which is the prefix that we're looking for, right? Burg is right here, and we have burg right here and burger. But we're not returning the whole word itself. We're just returning the index in a one indexed array, meaning we're starting from 1. We're not starting from 0. So that means we're looking for in this case, it's the fourth word, with I being the first word, love the second word, eating is the third word, burger is the fourth word, so we return 4, right? Since the fourth word contains the prefix burg, right? Explanation says burg is the prefix of burger, which is the fourth word in the sentence. So we're returning the index in a one index array of which word contains the prefix of search word. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. So in example 2, we have the input sentence equals a string. This problem is an easy problem. The search word is pro. So we're looking for a word in this sentence that starts with pro, the prefix pro. Now, as you can see, we have two words that start with pro. We have problem right here, and we have problem right here. We want to return the first one, the index of the first word, the minimum index. So in this case, the first word is, they're both problem, but we want to return the minimum index. We have one at index 2, and we have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have one at index 2, and we have one at index 6. We want to return the minimum index. So in this case, it'd be index 2, right? So the output is 2. Explanation says pro is the prefix of problem, which is the second and sixth word in the sentence, but we return 2 as it is the minimum index. So that's why we return this index and not this index, because we want to return the minimum index. So let's take a look at example 3, where they might try to throw another trick our way, where there is no words that contain the prefix. So in this case, we have the input sentence equals a string I am tired, search word equals you. So as you can see, none of the words in the sentence start with you, so we return -1. It says you is not a prefix of any word in the sentence, and it says right here, if there is no such word, return -1. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. And now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not difficult at all. We should get through this fairly simply. So let's get started. Now, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to make sure we separate our input sentence into words, or we separate it into an array, or separate it into different components that will be by a single space. So to do that, we're going to say let words equal sentence dot components. So we're going to get the components of the sentence string. Then we're going to open up the brackets. We're going to say separated by colon, open up the quotation marks and put a single space inside. So what this is going to do is it's going to take the input sentence, right? It's going to take the sentence and it's going to break it down into components that, and we know where to separate each component by a single space. So each single space, we know it's a new word, right? We have a single space between I and love, a single space between love and eating, and a single space between eating and burger. So we're going to separate this. In this example, we will separate it into 4 different components. Then once we have it separated into components, now we can start our for loop. So we can say for, open up the parentheses, I, comma, word. So this is going to get us the index and the word when we say n words dot enumerated. So sorry, this enumerated right here gets us the index and the word, right? Which is what we're going to need. So that's why we have 2, we pass in I and word. I is for index, and then word is for the value or the word when we use this enumerated. Then we're going to open up the brackets. We're going to say if word dot has prefix, so we're going to look for the prefix in each word. So if it has prefix, we could pass in search word. So this is if word has the prefix search word that we're looking for. We'll open up the brackets and we can say return I, but we're going to say I plus 1 because when we just return I, that will be for a 0 index array. But remember, we're working with a 1 index array, so that's why we put the plus 1 at the end. So we're going to return I plus 1. Then if that fails, we could come right here, meaning if we don't find a word in words that has the prefix that we're looking for, we could come right here and just say return -1. Boom. So that should be all she wrote, y'all. Let's go ahead and give it a run. Make sure it runs correctly before we submit it. Okay, let's see. Sorry, y'all, typo. This should be separated, so we got to pass that A in. Put that A right there for separated by. Boom, it's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. Let's see, and look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. I feel like this is a good problem. We're gonna do a few easy strings in a row just so we could build our fundamentals and learn the basics when it comes to strings, y'all. It's very important to make sure that we understand the fundamentals and the basics when we're doing this stuff because we're going to need that knowledge when we continue down our LeetCode journey. And if you don't understand the fundamentals, you're gonna have problems when you try to navigate towards harder problems. So we want to make sure we strengthen our fundamentals, of course. So with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today and come back tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.